Alright, it has come to my attention that some people actually think Perseus is a good choice in endgame stages, so I have come up with an experiment to see if maybe there is something I'm missing. And you know, I'm the one sacrificing my oil here, so I hope this video will answer all questions regarding Perseus from here on out. First, I will do a run of 15-4 with Perseus and 5 other pretty decent ships. Then another with Akashi over Perseus, and mostly everything the same. And finally, a third run with 1 normal damage dealing ship over Perseus, and everything else identical. I'm not purposely sandbagging anything. The ships around Perseus are going to be Musashi, Unicorn, Laffy 2, San Diego, and Guam. If you have a problem with me using any of these ships in 15-4 with plus 13 equipment, you need help that I'm incapable of giving. The raw unedited footage of all 3 runs will be in the description, by the way, so you can make sure I did not rig anything if you want. I left my fleet tech on, but did not use any officers in the mob fleet. The first run with Perseus, I engaged an escort node, a carrier node, and then battleship nodes, so that's what I did for the subsequent runs as well. All the nodes were 3-star difficulty, by the way. From here on out, I'm just going to skip to the relevant clips. Again, the raw footage containing these clips will be found in the description, and the equipment to use will be shown in there as well. Okay, after doing just an escort node and a carrier node, things are looking quite alright. Musashi has already lost a bit of HP, but she'll be back to full soon as Perseus and Unicorn use their preloads. And now we engage our first battleship node. Here, Hiei spawns and we're having a bit of trouble killing her. She opens fire on her main fleet and Musashi draws the aggro. Can't be that bad, right? Well, it looks like she was set on fire and now her HP has started taking down. But we're running Perseus, so we're gonna heal through it no problem. Now we have our second challenger, Kirishima. Unicorn's airstrike goes off. She's trying her best, but you can't expect her to one-shot this elite through the smokescreen that dropped. If only she had some help. I wonder what Perseus is up to right now. Now Kirishima fires at Musashi, but fortunately, Musashi avoided being burned. As you can see from the clock, we're currently more than 1 minute into the battle. For some reason, I've never seen this on the clock when my fleets have ammo. I'm starting to learn all the secret Perseus techs now. After I did the first boss encounter with the other fleet, which I don't know why I did since this fleet is clearly not going to clear the stage, we engage our second battleship node. Musashi is slightly under half HP, but let's see if we can clutch this one out. Alright, Hiei is back to cause havoc again. Unicorn's airstrike takes off about half her HP. Perseus? Well, she healed the whole fleet for 1% through her second skill. And now, Musashi is getting boom boom powed by Hiei once again. Okay, so Musashi ended up dying at the very end to Kirishima on the second battleship node. So that's about as far as Perseus was able to go. Now let's take a look at Akashi's run. Since Akashi is an AA carry herself, who offers pretty much nothing else, there's no point in running San Diego as the AA would be way overkill. So I replaced San Diego with Ibuki. If anyone wants to make the case that Ibuki is better than San Diego in Chapter 15, they can go right ahead in the comments. I don't think it's unfair, but some may say it is. Either way, it's not like I'm advocating you use Akashi anyway. In fact, you're definitely better off using Vestal. So after our first 2 battles, it's actually looking a little shakier than with Perseus. I realized I should have changed the formation to double line since I'm down a healer, but I forgot to and it's too late at this point. It's okay. Now we engage our first battleship node. Okay, so Hiei spawns. Ibuki's torps go off a bit too late, but I did not optimize this fleet. She does enough damage to Hiei that Hiei dies before the main fleet strikes, but she still ends up doing some damage to Musashi. And now we have to deal with Kirishima. Let's just say my choice of torpedoes on Ibuki here could use some improvement, but I don't play often with a complete deadweight in my main fleet, so cut me some slack. Okay, after the first battleship node, this Akashi fleet is doing worse than Perseus. I'm just gonna skip the boss fight and go to the second battleship node. After Hiei spawns, Ibuki's torps actually go off at a pretty good time, but unfortunately, she was on the opposite side of the screen, so Hiei lives a bit longer than the previous engagement. Musashi is set on fire once again, and is knocking on death's door. By some miracle, the fleet managed to scrape by a second battleship node without going down. Ibuki did not contribute as much as I intended her to due to using the wrong torps and being at the wrong places as well. Anyway, I don't think Akashi is better than Perseus at this point. This fleet would have failed on this node more times than not, so I'd say they're about equal. With 5 of the best ships in this stage, Perseus performed equally to Akashi. Let that sink in for a second. Next, I just chose a random decent solo carrier. Not Haku, not Nakimov, just Saratoga. And not even with 2 Tenrais. I put San Diego back in over Ibuki so the fleet is exactly the same as the one Perseus was part of. To summarize, thanks to Saratoga's extra contribution compared to the other two, Hiei and Kirishima went down faster than before, although not by much because I made Saratoga's airstrike a bit too slow and did not want to go back to adjust it and restart the run. Regardless, with Saratoga, the fleet went on to clear 3 battleship nodes without much issue with ammo, and almost got through the final battleship node with no ammo to spawn the final boss node, but ended up going down at the very end. It was seriously close though. As you can see, just using a decent damage dealer that is desynced from Musashi and Unicorn, but not fully optimized, is a huge upgrade over Perseus. Of course, you can do much better than Saratoga and run Aquila, Haku, Shinano, Amagi, and so on. You could also double down on the damage and run both Saratoga and Ibuki, which is what I would typically do. I saw no difference in using Perseus compared to Akashi, and that is what I'm going to conclude with. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.